Hey guys, how's it going? This is ThePyroGunner, and welcome to my spoiler talk extra review thing for Batman Arkham Knight. So, just a fair warning to anyone watching this right now. I am going to talk about spoilers for Batman Arkham Knight. So play the game first, and then watch this video if you want to know what I thought of things that happen in the game that you would not want spoiled for you before you play it. So, go away right now, or else you're gonna find out everything about who the Arkham Knight is and all that stuff. Okay, now that those people have gone, the people who are still watching, you've probably played the game, and if not, you are an idiot. Okay, so first, we are going to talk about Joker. Yep, that's right. You better be gone if you don't want spoilers. So, Joker plays a big part in this game, and this game has the best Joker stuff in it than in any of the other Arkham games. And he's even, like, not alive. He's dead. And yet they have the best Joker stuff. Yeah, basically, what I said in my non-spoilery review with the things with going into Batman's psyche is that he sees Joker everywhere. And he's saying these things. It's both funny and both really good storytelling, and he just pops up while you're not looking there, then you turn around and now he's there, and it's that is awesome right there. Like, Joker was so good in this game, and yeah, Mark Hamill, great voice actor, great actor, obviously. Star Wars are like my favorite movies ever. But yeah, that was really cool. Also, something else in the story that I really liked was when Gordon just gets pissed off at Batman. He's like, "You got Barbara captured," and he like punches him in the face. That was one of the best parts of the story. It's like, wow, Batman's friends are turning on him now. This is some pretty creepy stuff Scarecrow's doing. And then, of course, one of my favorite moments in Batman Arkham Knight's story is Oracle's death. So when this happened, I honestly did not think that they would kill Oracle. Like, I thought someone who was one of Batman's friends would die, but I didn't think it would be Oracle. And then she just, bam, commits suicide, and yeah, it was very sad and very impactful on the story and the player playing this. Like, this character has been telling you about things and stuff throughout the whole trilogy, and now she's dead. And basically, from what you know based on the Arkham games, throughout them, you would basically say that Oracle has been Batman's closest friend, just based on the games, like not with comics and stuff, but just for the games. And it's like, Scarecrow killed her. Yep, he means business. And yeah, that's what that death scene just meant, is like, Scarecrow means business. He is going to mess with Batman, and Batman, some of the people that he drags into this are going to die. And not everything is going to end well, because this is a bad villain who means business, like I said. And yeah, that was a great screen. Also, the score, like the soundtrack that plays in the Oracle death scene, it's so sad in the best way possible. And yeah, that moment was so good for the story. Let's see, next I will talk about the, like, 4, 5 Jokers. I have a little bit of issues understanding with how this went, but overall, I liked the Joker stuff, and like with Harley Quinn, like not Joker and Batman's head, but the people who are turning into Joker. Basically, I just think there's a few plot holes with that I want to discuss here. One is, how can Joker blood turn people into him? That just doesn't make any sense, first off. But yeah, it's like a comic thing, you know. Yeah, that just didn't make sense to me, though. Also, why is Batman still infected with Joker blood after he took the cure in Arkham City? Like, did that just make it so that he doesn't die from it? But now he's just, you know, still turning into Joker? Then also are these people who are also infected with the Joker blood dying like Batman was in Arkham City because he had it? Or did they somehow get the cure out to those people already or something? Like the cure that makes you not die, like not the cure that makes you not the Joker. And yeah, that was kind of weird. Also, since Batman is like the 5th person who's turning into the Joker, that was kind of weird for me, and I always took it as the Joker stuff in his head and him like turning into Joker was more of a fear toxin thing, of that is his greatest fear, of like turning into what he hates most, like Joker, this killing evil maniac. And yeah, I took that to be more of a fear toxin thing than the actual Joker blood, which makes more sense to me that way. Although I don't know, like some things with that were kind of stupid, but I still really liked the 4 or like 5 Jokers, if you're counting Batman, story plotline. I thought it was actually really good, and then Harley tries to get them, and she's like, Mr. J left me the best present ever, and stuff, and that part of the game was awesome. Also, one of the best parts in the whole Arkham trilogy is when Joker sings to Batman. Oh my gosh. That is, oh, it's so good. That is Batman gold right there. That Joker song and stuff. Anywho, then later on in the game there is Ivy's sacrifice. Wait, first, let me touch on something that I talked about in my non-spoiler review, like the main actual review, is there's not that many boss fights, and the ones that there are like tank fights basically, and there's way too many tank fights near the end of the game, and it's really annoying. But there is that tank fight with the Cloudburst Arkham Knight tank thing. I hated that so much. First off, for me, it was really hard until I figured out that you could hide behind a building, shoot his tank, hide behind the same building, turn around, shoot his tank, and keep on doing that over and over. And that's what I eventually did, but that's one of the worst boss fights I've ever played in a video game. Like, come on, that was stupid. Like, I would have liked a good hand-to-hand fight with the Arkham Knight, and then, like, at the end of it, Batman, like, rips off his mask or something like that. That would have been cool. Except for also, I guess maybe I should talk about the Arkham Knight here, but there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about here, which is Poison Ivy being on Batman's side. That was really cool. And then also she sacrifices herself, and that's cool to see bad people, these villains, doing something good, and it's the last thing they do, and that kind of justifies them, kind of, even though Ivy did bad things in Arkham Asylum and stuff. But okay, now let's talk about the Arkham Knight. So yeah, he's Jason Todd and stuff, and the first thing that made it too predictable, like, it was always predictable because he's like knowing everything about how Batman fights, about Batman's armor, where his weak points are, and like all that. It's like, okay, Batman must have trained this guy. And also, but like for me, the big thing that went and made it a little too predictable, kind of, was when there was the flashbacks to seeing Jason Todd, because as soon as you hear Jason Todd speak, it's like, oh, that's Troy Baker, Arkham Knight is Troy Baker, so he's obviously the Arkham Knight. But at the same time, I did like seeing the Jason Todd flashback things when Joker was like killing him and torturing him and that stuff. They never explained how he came back to life, although in the comics there's like the Lazarus pit and stuff. Although in the game, I just thought it was weird how they didn't explain it in the game. But, yeah, basically, I think it's not that bad that Arkham Knight was Jason Todd. I think it's a cool way to have a different origin story to the Red Hood, basically, is what they did with it. I think it's kind of bad that Rocksteady told everyone that it's a totally new villain and stuff, when, no, it's exactly the same as some other character, basically. It's just a different way of telling a story so that they have the chance of surprising people, even though it was really predictable. But I think that the story of having one of Batman's former sidekicks come back and turn on him, and then, in the end, ultimately turn back to good, although in his own way of good, kind of with killing people and stuff, is actually a really good story to tell. It's just not the story that people expected, and they made it really predictable who the Arkham Knight is. And when you find out that he's Jason Todd, like when he has the visor mask thing pull up and stuff, and he's like, you really had no idea, did you? At that point, I was like, Batman, how could you not know? Because it is so obvious. And basically, how I chose to see this in the game was that when Batman is seeing the Joker flashbacks in his head, he is seeing that because he's remembering Jason, because the Arkham Knight is so much like Jason, because he is Jason and stuff, and that's what's triggering those flashbacks, although that's just in Batman's subconscious, so it's not like he fully knows it in his, like, main brain. Like, that sounds really stupid, the way that I put it, but it's like Batman knows who the Arkham Knight is in the back of his head, but he doesn't want to believe it, because he doesn't want to believe that his old sidekick has turned on him and is now trying to kill him. And so he just keeps on going like, Alfred, scan the people who were in Arkham Asylum. It's obviously someone who's bad. Like, that's what I saw it as, which probably makes the story better in my mind than it was for most people. Yeah, just something to consider, I guess, with that part of the story. Basically, I think it would have been cooler if the Arkham Knight was someone else, like Damian Wayne or something. Like, those theories sound really cool, but it certainly wasn't bad that he was Jason Todd, and I like the story. I don't think it's as good as it could have been, obviously, but yeah, there's that stuff about the Arkham Knight. Okay, so now we come to the next major story point of me expressing my opinions on it, which is Oracle is still alive. This is one of the worst things in the story of the game. I'm not even kidding. Like, I already told you why Oracle's death is so meaningful, so when she's still alive, it takes all of that away, and it just felt so cheap. It's like, oh, well, we can't kill Oracle, you know, she's just such a nice daughter of not daughter of Barbara, daughter of Jim Gordon, who's helping out the Batman, and we can't kill her. Basically, that took away all of the meaning that her death had, and it just made it stupid. And like, okay, here's something. I think that the twist where Gordon shoots Batman is awesome. I think that's really good story stuff going on there. But here's the thing, they could have had that scene in earlier on in the game before Oracle dies and still have her die, because her death is so meaningful to the story of the game. Like, her still being alive, it's so cheap. Like, that is the most irritating thing about the story, maybe even for me, was that. Like, yeah, that really, I hated that so much. So basically, if I could have made the story of this game differently, the main thing that I would have done is had it so Oracle gets captured, Gordon gets mad at Batman, he like punches him and stuff, goes out, tries to find her. Meanwhile, Batman works on trying to find her, runs into some other things, and, you know, starts doing a few things there, and then he finally tracks down Gordon because, let's say he's trying to track down Gordon to keep him safe because he doesn't stand a chance. And then he falls into Scarecrow's trap. Gordon shoots Batman, even though he knows, obviously, you know, shoot Batman in the hardest part of his armor, because he heard the Arkham Knight talking about that near the start of the game and stuff. And then do something like that. And then, like, how about then Batman goes up to save Oracle, but let's say Jim and Scarecrow, like, exit the scene or something. Batman goes to save Oracle, then her death scene happens, and she stays dead. Batman feels terrible. Gordon gets super mad at him and just goes off, and Batman has no clue where he goes. He doesn't want to talk to Batman, and then Batman has to focus on taking down Scarecrow and Arkham Knight, and then near the end of the game, Gordon shows up again, and he forgives Batman and stuff. And yeah, that would have been better, I think. I hate that Oracle is still alive. I just can't get that out of my head, how bad that is. But yeah, so there's that. Anyways, next thing I want to talk about is basically like after Batman saves Oracle in the real game, not in the one in my head, from like falling off the tower and stuff. Then the new Batmobile comes in, and it's like that is just a quick fix to the Batmobile being destroyed earlier in the game. And also, like, it's cool for Batman fans that it is like classic gray and yellow Batman colors, but really those colors don't fit in at all with the mood of the Batman Arkham games. It just felt so silly that, yeah, I didn't really like that. I thought, let's just not have Batmobile for the rest of the game. That sounds fun. And then maybe once you beat the main game, then like Lucius Fox is like, hey, I've got a new Batmobile, and it doesn't look any different from the old one. That would have been better. But yeah, that was just kind of dumb. Anywho, now the actual ending of the game is brilliant. It's one, like I said in my main review, this is one of the best endings of any game ever. The way that you are in control of this character while he or they are having a battle in Batman's brain of who is going to take over. Is Batman going to be the Joker, or is he going to be Batman? And the way that they did Scarecrow as a villain was good in that way, to where you don't have a boss fight with Scarecrow. It's just this mental fight in Batman of him first, having the fear toxin in. He turns into the Joker in his mind in a hallucination and stuff, but then you play as Joker in this like creepy, almost like a horror game setting, like first-person shooter thing, and then like Batman's popping up with statues, and you're like, whoa, Batman's pretty scary, because Batman is scary, he's vengeance, he's the Knight, he's Batman, and then he locks up Joker, and it's so good, yeah, and then he's like, I'm not scared, Crane. Oh yeah, and also everybody knows he's Bruce Wayne. I really like that way to end it, to let everyone know who Batman is, and like, well, I can't be Batman anymore, so yeah, now I am going to talk about the Nightfall protocol. Oh wait, one more thing. This is really out of order, but there was one other plot hole in the game that I thought was really weird, and I just didn't understand it. It's when Scarecrow has his fear toxin all over Gotham. Here's the thing that I just don't get. Why would Scarecrow put out his fear toxin when there's only thugs left? Like, when there aren't even the normal, everyday civilian people there. It's just the thugs, so he just doesn't like the thugs? Because, like, yeah, I just can't all put it together. That was kind of dumb, to be honest there. Or some sort of a plot hole. But anyways, okay, back to Nightfall. This is the 100% ending thing. So, here's my theory on it. I'm assuming you know what this is if you're watching this video, which you should. I think Batman faked his death. Because, here's the thing. Like, there's tons of people out there saying, no, Batman commits suicide, he can't be Batman anymore, it's just not safe to be Batman or whatever, burns up Wayne Manor and stuff. And I think he obviously must have faked his death, and this part of the game is totally up to interpretation, so I'm not right, and you're not wrong, and all that stuff, and all, yeah. Anyways, so why I think he faked his death is he planned it so that all of the news people would be outside of his house when it happens, so that he could stage it to make it seem like he's dead. Also, you never hear of Gordon saying anything about there being a body, and the third thing, which is the main reason why it's obvious that Batman faked his death, to me at least, is that Batman wouldn't kill Alfred. Because Alfred was in there too. It's like all of this no killing stuff, and you know who Batman is going to break his one rule on? Alfred. His butler who has always been there for him. No, that is not going to happen. Even if Alfred was like, okay sir, I will do this for you, Batman still wouldn't do it because that's who Batman is. So, Batman definitely faked his death, in my mind. There's no other way. Anyways, and then, with the ending, when you see the new like, sort of fear-gassy, strange, smoky, fiery Batman, basically, I don't think that's necessarily supposed to be anything. I mean, I would say that the next Batman would be Azrael, because, with the, Azrael side mission at the end, his final test is basically to not kill Batman, because he was told to kill Batman, and he just breaks the sword. Well, I broke the sword. I am interested to see what happens if you choose to kill Batman, because I didn't do that. But basically, I think that whatever it was that we saw at the end of the game represents that Batman lives on in Gotham, not actually being Bruce Wayne, but in the sense that there is sort of like the spirit of Batman. Like, someone has chosen to take on Batman's persona to free the city of crime for the greater good, basically. It's probably Azrael, but with the fear gas, who knows? They made that ending that way so that people would make tons of theories on it. And yeah, that's what I thought of spoiler things of Batman Arkham Knight. So, thank you for watching this video. Tell me in the comments what you thought of Batman Arkham Knight spoiler things. I think I covered all of my main opinions on spoilers and stuff. Yep, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, guys, and have a great day.